This is the Starters 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. Part 4 of 9 starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to Part 4 of the Starters season preview. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us on NBA TV, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, in a flamboyant shirt tonight, Tass Mellis.
Thank you very much. I call it fiery. That's what I call it.
To my right, it's the Starters blog editor, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
With 1,000 plaids on. And finally, it's the Aussie. It's Lee Ellis.
Lele.
Lee. All right, on tonight's show, we're continuing to tackle the 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. Tonight, we're going to get into who's got the league's worst contract, and we'll try and settle once and for all probably the debate of the preseason. Who is the best backcourt duo in the league?
Juicy.
And a whole lot of talk about that. And I will finally take my turn on the hot seat there.
There it is.
Tass, you'll be in charge.
Very cushiony.
Yeah, put that in my home. All right, but let's get to the first question of tonight's show, question 25 in total. Guys, which Western Conference lottery team has the best chance of making the playoffs?
I think all 8 teams from the Western Conference playoffs make it back again in this season.
Wow.
They are that good. I mean, you take a look at them, I don't think any of them are going to drop off into the lottery. Start at the top. San Antonio is obviously going to be there. OKC had an injury last year, have one this year, no problem. Clippers, Houston, Portland, Golden State, Memphis added pieces, Dallas added pieces. They're not going to drop off that far. For a lottery team to make it in, that means they're going to have to win like 50 games, and that means that one of these teams that won 49 or better is going to have to drop off. I just don't see it. Now, history is definitely against me because the Western Conference hasn't repeated all 8 playoff teams in consecutive years since 1980. That's 34 years. Now, the Eastern Conference did it a couple of years ago, but the East that's just a different story. That's a very different story. But I know you guys have some picks, but if you're talking a team that jumps up into the lottery again, they have to win 50 games.
Yeah.
And that's a great, great season in a tough, tough Western Conference where those teams that we showed you there from 1 through 8 did not get any worse.
So Tass says nobody. Lee, who do you think has the best chance to get in?
I'm going with the New Orleans Pelicans because anytime you have a top 5 player in the league, you're a chance. Now, I know they have to win a lot of games. They only won 34 games last season, but health is the key for this team. I mean, we know Anthony Davis, he's a superstar, but the other guys that missed time last year, Ryan Anderson, Drew Holiday, Eric Gordon, and Anthony Davis himself missed 15 games. Their top 5 highest earning players from last season missed a combined 151 games. Now, it's pretty much impossible to make the playoffs no matter who's on your team if the rest of your supporting cast isn't going to do it. So that's the question for Monty Williams. You know, he has to get this team healthy, of course. I mean, he can't be responsible for every injury, but he has to figure out a way to get these players on the floor. And when they are on the floor, they have to play defense. Because last year, according to Basketball Reference, they had the 4th worst defense in the league, even worse than Philadelphia. So that just shows you there's a lot of improvement to be
That's
done.
with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, Anthony Davis is so good that he is capable of taking this team to the next level if he can stay on the floor.
And it's a big year, like you said, for Monty Williams, too. He's been coaching there for a while now, hasn't had a winning record since 2010-11, and I just think, like you're saying, this is the time. They have to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. You've got young guys who've got pretty good contracts as well. I mean, maybe Tyreek Evans is not the best contract in the world, but it's not one of those ones that's just going to cripple your franchise either. So
That's the Eric Gordon one, right? That's the one that will cripple your franchise.
Well, that's right. That certainly could. But, I mean, Drew Holiday was an all-star a couple of years ago. You know, I believe in Drew Holiday. I think he's a good point guard. I think he's a good point guard for Anthony Davis. Eric Gordon, we know he's talented. Tyreek Evans was Rookie of the Year. I know I'm sort of reaching a little bit.
What you're doing is the names look great.
That's what I mean,
They look great on paper or up there on the board, but can they stay healthy and can Monty Williams make it all work, all these little pieces?
The
make
Pelicans,
them all work?
they're off to a bad start, though, because you just referenced Basketball Reference and not NBA.com. That's a terrible start. Terrible start for you and the Pelicans.
What about you, Trey? Which Western Conference team has the best chance of getting in there?
I have very little confidence in saying this, but I do think the Phoenix Suns have the best chance of getting back. There's a lot of reasons for the Suns to take a step back this year. Basically, everybody on their team had a career year last year.
They did.
There's a bit of a surprise factor with the Suns last year, too, and that's
people
not going
were
to be
picking
there.
the Suns to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. There's no Channing Frye. Their big offseason moves were bringing in another point guard and another Dragic. It just seems like they probably won't actually make the playoffs, but they were so close last year. And another year of playing together, your team is just going to get better. You're going to get used to playing in the Jeff Hornacek system, and I'm choosing to have a little optimism this year.
Yeah, we say, look, last year they were 1 game out of the playoffs,
Right.
but they're 3 games back from like the 6th seed
Yeah.
in the Western Conference. I mean, they're right in the mix there. So that's a good pick. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah.
By the way, with all these questions, chime in on Twitter, #thestarters, to let us know. My sort of sleeper pick to possibly get into the Western Conference playoff race is the Denver Nuggets. And similar reasons to why you were picking the Pelicans, Lee, health.
Yeah.
These guys had no one playing for them last year. They're big names, you know, your Gallinari's and JaVale McGee's and J.J. Hickson and Nate Robinson just missed a ton of games. And if they're all out there, yeah, they're a starless team. I mean, there you see.
So many ifs with this team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'd like to see what Brian Shaw can do with a healthy squad because he's got Kenneth Faried, who's now trying to prove that new contract. Looked great, of course, for Team USA. Gallinari, before he got injured, was borderline all-star material. Ty Lawson, you'd think his efficiency would go up if he's got better guys around him and if he can stay healthy. So, again, I think it's unlikely, and I'm actually sort of leaning towards what you're thinking there, Task, with the 8 teams probably being the same. But they could be a bit of a surprise team, the Denver Nuggets.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago they finished 3rd in the Western Conference. I know things have changed, a new coach and some players have left, but they've got that advantage of playing at home as well. That it does give them definitely an advantage playing in their high altitude there in Denver. And like most teams, if they're not healthy, it's almost impossible to compete, especially in the West.
Especially in the West. And really, truthfully, they're going to need a team like the Clippers or the Warriors or whoever for them to suffer a major
Fall off,
injury
yeah.
to really fall off
And
and,
all
to get in there.
those 8 teams are just veteran teams. They're fantastic. I think the Denver Nuggets, coming out of the gate, they're not healthy right now. I mean, who knows what happens to JaVale McGee if he starts the season on the floor. Ty Lawson's been reported he's going to be playing with an ankle brace for basically the entire year. There's just too many questions there, but I think they overachieved last year, winning 35 games with Randy Foye playing the most minutes on their team. I think they seriously did. There's just too many great teams, and people are picking sort of the Blazers as the chic pick to drop out of the playoffs. I don't buy it whatsoever. I mean, we've got 2 all-stars in their prime with Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge. Damian Lillard only getting better. LaMarcus obviously in his prime. How are they dropping out?
and you got new guys like Batum and Matthews.
Yeah, but they're really thin, and how much better can
They
their
are.
starting lineup get? Like you said, Lillard and Aldridge made huge steps last year, and they're superstars now, but they can't really average 30 and 15 apiece. There's not a lot of uproom, I don't think, for the Blazers, which you would think if they're going anywhere, they're going downhill.
Yeah, not a lot of breathing room in the West, but let us know what you guys think. Which team is most likely to maybe break into the top 8 there in the Western Conference? #thestarters. Got to take a break. Lots more still to come. Question of the preseason. Just who is the best backcourt in the league? We'll debate it when we return. You're watching The Starters. Welcome back to The Starters season preview, making our way through 72 burning questions about the upcoming season. We're at question number 26. We got a long way to go, guys. Here, we're going to speed this up. Question 26. Who has the league's worst contract? What do you think?
I think it's Darren Williams. He's hampering what the Nets can do for the next 3 seasons. You check the numbers there. They're not pretty. He had his worst number since his rookie year last year. And you look at Kobe Bryant, who you got here, Trey. I don't know how he is the worst contract. People are paying to see Kobe Bryant play. They're paying to buy Kobe Bryant jerseys. They're not doing that for Darren Williams.
Lee.
And those 2 years just aren't a problem to me.
You and I agreeing with the big Darren Williams contract.
But
still
it
remains.
said there's no untradeable contracts in the NBA. Well, Darren Williams is certainly going to test that theory a lot here because 3 years, $63 million, and he's past his prime. And we've seen what happens in the playoffs as well. Last year against Miami, he laid an egg. He didn't score in 1 game. And the season before, when they had Game 7 at home against the Chicago Bulls, they also got killed. I just think this guy, he was good a couple of years ago when we were comparing him to Chris Paul, but he's fallen away. The injuries have taken a huge toll on him. And
He
I
had
think
surgery this summer, though.
I know he had surgery on both ankles, apparently. I don't know if
He
that's
has
a good
surgery
thing or a
every
bad thing. Yeah. I just think that this guy at this stage of his career, he's not going to get any better.
I tend to agree with you, but I'm interested to hear why you think Kobe Bryant is the worst
It starts
contract
with
in the league.
the fact that Kobe Bryant is the highest paid player in the NBA this year. He hasn't been the best player in the league for years, and he's played 6 games in the past 19 months. That really sticks out to me that they gave him that huge contract before he had even finished healing from his Achilles injury.
That's a thank
Then,
you
of course-
contract, though.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that he's getting this contract because it means they get the kind of meetings they get every year where they get the best free agents to come and at least look them over and say, here's how we take care of legends. But you look at what's happening to Kobe's career, they're basically just shuffling the deck right now.
Yeah.
Every year they're bringing in a couple of guys, hoping to go for the big free agents, then striking out, and you're ending up with Carlos Boozer and Ed Davis on your team because you're paying one man $23.5 million a year. The contract, like you said, is only 2 years. That's not so bad. The cap will go up next year. That's not so bad. But for this year, you're wasting this year and maybe next year too.
But people still want to watch them because they're on national TV 28
but that's
times in
that's
comparison to
fair
the
enough.
Brooklyn
But
Nets.
nobody wants to go and play with them because there's not enough money left over to get a real player.
But the reason why you got to love Kobe this season is he's old man Kobe. Already in the
I love
preseason,
it.
he has a bad game. He shoots for 3 for 13, and he tells the media, I played like crap. I mean, I just was terrible. Old man Kobe is just real. He's
That's
just
worth
telling it like it is.
$23 million a year?
It's worth it. It's worth it to me, and it's
entertaining.
worth it to people who want to watch because they're on national TV 28 times.
Well,
in
that's
comparison to the Brooklyn Nets, who are on TV
Right.
10 times. Imagine if Kobe wasn't there. They'd probably be in the Brooklyn Nets territory like 10 times.
You don't think the Lakers will be on national TV?
Not that-
Just
no.
because they don't have Kobe? Come on, man.
Massive market, yeah.
If it's a Carlos Boozer, Ed Davis led lineup, I don't think they're on 28
Less likely.
times.
Well, you saw other names on that, the biggest salaries in the league right now, and I think a lot of people on Twitter right now, maybe it is Amari with the worst contract, Joe Johnson there, Darren Williams, teammate there for the Nets. But I think a pulsable one is an alternate, if you want to call it that, because I do agree with the Darren Williams, Josh Smith with the Pistons. And I was a huge Josh Smith fan when he was with the Hawks, but that contract he got now has 3 years, over 40 mil remaining. I worry about Josh because I sometimes think he just sort of is almost done with basketball and doesn't care to really put in the effort night in and night out like a guy you pay the big bucks for. It'll be interesting if Stan Van Gundy can get something out of him.
Stan Van's going to do it.
And that'll be the test because, otherwise you're starting to look also at a sort of an untradeable contract. But in the right scenario, he probably would flourish. So it'll be interesting what Stan Van can do.
Stan Van coaches guys, and I think he's going to coach Josh Smith and get the most out of him, out of his talents. He's already said he's going down to the post. No more Josh Smith making bad records at the three-point line.
Right.
It's just not going to happen this season because Stan Van won't let that happen.
Well, I hope so because I don't think it's always on the coach. I think that's a lot of Josh. He just gets a bit lazy.
Well, he's
That's
playing
my-
the
that's
4
my
this
point.
year, though.
He's one
not
of those
playing
guys,
the 3.
when he gets in the post, he's got that great athleticism, he's got the length, and he's got the jumping ability. You just want to see him play like that, but he just hasn't done that for the last couple of years.
I do like him at the 4, and that's what it should be, him and Drummond as your two bigs there. All right, next question. This one, a huge debate over the last month or so. Who is the best backcourt in the league? Now, how did all of this start? Well, Bradley Beal said him and John Wall with the Wizards were definitely the best backcourt in the league. Someone told Dion Waiters that with the Cavs. He didn't think so. He thought it was him and Kyrie. Of course, this starts the debate. There's back and forth. John Wall gets involved. Hey, the Raptors are like, hey, what about us? I want to know what you think. Who is the best backcourt in the league?
To me, it came down to 2 teams, and it does not include the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Washington Wizards. It's the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. And it's a toss-up for me. And I went with the Phoenix Suns because obviously we're talking about the Wizards. Steph Curry is the best of the 4 guys. We're comparing the Suns and the Warriors. No doubt, Steph Curry is the best player. Goran Dragic is just a step below. But then you look at Eric Bledsoe versus Klay Thompson. I think Eric Bledsoe is a far more dynamic player than Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is getting this rep right now as the best shooting guard in the game.
And you are trying
just-
your darndest to shoot it
Well,
down.
no, it's just he plays on. It's just context with this guy. He plays on a great team that passes the ball oh so well. And if he was on a team where he had to be the number 1 guy, you would see his 3 rebounds and 2 assists per game and getting to the free throw line only 2 times per game would shine through. But he's playing on such a great team that he doesn't have to do that much. A very good player, but Eric Bledsoe, at his 6'1" height, probably 5 to 6 inches shorter than Klay Thompson, rebounds a heck of a lot more, assists a heck of a lot more, gets to the line a heck of a lot more, just does so much more than Klay Thompson. So it's close for me, but I think Dragic and Bledsoe, who are only getting better, along with Curry and Thompson, it's so close, but I'm taking
Now you're
the
talking
Suns.
yourself into
I'm taking
it.
the Suns.
The other 3 of us all agree that it's the Splash Brothers.
Yeah.
In Curry and Thompson. Look, it was a nice debate to have when nothing was going on there with the NBA, but I actually think it's ridiculous. I don't even think it's a question that it's Curry and Thompson, because I think of the entire bunch, and we're going to throw out some other names as well and some other tandems, you've got Curry, you already said it, Tass, he's the best player of the entire mix, especially offensively. And I think Klay, again, going through the guys, is arguably the best defensive player of the bunch, again, when you're looking at the duos there.
He's
I think he's
one of the best
I-
defensive players that rebounds 3 times a game. I mean, he doesn't do a heck of a lot. I mean, yes, he is labeled as this fantastic defender, and he does get the job of taking a team's best perimeter player quite often.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Andre Iguodala also gets that role. But again, he just plays on this fantastic team, so we look at him as one of the best players in the game. because he doesn't have to do that much.
I'm down on Klay Thompson just like you are, but I think he just fills in the holes that Curry has so perfectly that you put them together, and it's a perfect two-man guard combination.
And there's a look at the highest scoring backcourts. It is Curry and Thompson. If you're adding it up there, over 42 points per game. They get the assists as well. But let's talk about some of the other duos, because some great ones. Kyle Lowry and DeRozan with the Raps could make a case for them. You had Harden and Lin there last year with the Rockets, so you're not making that one now. But Lillard and Matthews as well.
Yeah, and also John Wall and Bradley Beal. If John Wall had a more consistent and reliable jump shot, I think they would be right up there, because that's really what's holding them back for me right now. John Wall just doesn't shoot well enough. He doesn't score as well as he could do, because in Bradley Beal, I actually think Bradley Beal personally is better than Klay Thompson. I think Bradley Beal is a superstar in the making, because he doesn't just settle for those jump shots.
Like Klay Thompson.
That's what you're saying about Klay. If you watch Bradley Beal, he really works really well with screens, especially around Marcin Gortat. He can pull up for the mid-range jump shot, he can drive it inside, and he's cash from outside as well. So I think that if John Wall can really develop his offensive game to become a little more reliable, I think the Wizards are right there.
And then what about the Spurs? Does Ginobili and Parker count? Or just because Manu doesn't start, we can't count them? Let's hear what people think. Hashtag the starters. We're going to talk about it later in the show as well. We put it up on our Facebook poll. What is the best backcourt duo in the league? Is it the Wiz? Is it the Cavs? Is it the Raps? Is it the Warriors? It goes on and on and on. We got to take a break. When we return, it's my turn on the hot seat. New unis, weird products, and who will lead the league in triple doubles. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Starters.
Welcome back to The Starters. Now, every preview show, one of us gets in that hot seat and we pepper them with 5 questions. So let's make it hot and let's start the peppering. There it is.
Pepper
Skeets, are you ready?
Yeah.
Talking new faces and new places to start. Which player looks weirdest in their new uniform?
Ooh, it's a good question. Lots to pick from, but I actually think I'm going to take a guy that I picked last year as well, Paul Pierce. Now with the Wizards. It was really strange when he went from the green of like 15 years with the Celtics to the Nets last year. This is even stranger for some reason. I don't know if it's because there's so many colors going on in that uni, but I don't like it. It doesn't work for Paul Pierce. So I'm going Paul Pierce for the second year in a row as the weirdest new guy in that new uni.
It is odd.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, stats question here. Who is going to lead the league in triple doubles this season?
Rondo! I'm sticking with Rondo. I know he's going to miss a little bit of time at the start of the season. Don't worry. He's missed time for the last 3 years. He's only played in something like 120 games over the last 3 years. But he is the leader over the last 3 seasons with 12 triple-doubles.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
And the next guy, even closest, is 7. I was sort of tempted to take Westbrook with Durant, of course, missing some time. But you see it there. Rondo, 12 triple-doubles over the last 3 years. And the next closest is Noah with 7. And then Durant, LeBron, and Lance Stevenson with 5. So I'm sticking with Rondo. I'm not going to be
Rondo only
afraid.
gets his triple-doubles in national TV games now. There's not a lot of reasons to put the Celtics on national TV.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
I know Noah's a great passer, but it's still shocking that he got 7 triple-doubles.
I know. It's
They
unbelievable.
needed somebody to create offense.
Yeah.
The man loves his stats, let's be honest. All right, question number 3 here. Which player will take the biggest step forward this season?
This is a tricky way to ask me who's going to be
Your
most
favorite
improved.
question.
I hate the most improved award, but for forgetting the MIP, I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. I'm going to keep this simple. I'm not going to overthink it. Yes, he's already an all-star, but now we start to expect that he's going to be the superstar. He's going to go there. He's still so young, and I actually do worry that we're maybe putting a little too much pressure on him, a little too early, but if he has more talent and the Pelicans can stay healthy, there really is no reason that he can't be putting up Hakeem Olajuwon-like numbers when he was very young with the 25 and 12 and stuff like that and the defense to go with it. I go with Anthony Davis. Not going to overthink this one.
All right, let's take it off the court here. What's the most ridiculous product we'll see endorsed by an NBA player this season?
Wow. All right.
The tough questions on the hot seat
This
here.
one's tough. This is a very hot question. I'm going to go with turtlenecks, okay?
Oh, turtlenecks!
Turtlenecks guys are making a comeback. So if you're a geography teacher, you're pumped to hear that news. But turtlenecks are on the runway, so it only makes sense that the fashionable guys of the NBA are going to start rocking them when they show up to the arena. You would think Russell Westbrook would be an obvious guy. He's got quite the flair there. You know, you could see him showing up with a turtleneck, but one better than that, a guy who would be a perfect turtleneck spokesman.
Stan Van Gundy?
No, well, he'd be good.
Yeah, it stands back.
But the
That's where
Birdman,
you're going.
Chris Anderson.
Take him out to dinner like that.
Cover up those tattoos. See you later, free bird. And you got Chris Anderson as a turtleneck spokesman. So yeah, turtlenecks are making a comeback this year. In fact, I'm making a rule right now. We're all wearing turtlenecks for one show this season.
All right,
I
I'm
got
in.
one. Can't wait.
Can't wait to buy
Glad to
one.
hear they're back.
All right, last question here. It's a true or false. True or false? Your annual begging has paid off, and this is the year you're selected to play in the All-Star Weekend Celebrity Game.
Yes, I've been begging
beg
for the last
every year.
10 years
Let
to get
me
in this
in,
thing.
let me in.
How can I not get in this game? It makes no sense. I'm going to say false, though. I'm going to say false, but we're getting closer.
Why are we predicting this?
Our friend, Kristen Ledlow,
Burning question.
working here, of course, at NBA TV, she got in the game last season, so it's a small stepping stone to get us there. And I'd like to promise, again, I don't think I'm going to get in this year, but when I do, I promise that I will bust out the Justin Bieber crossover. I will do it. I will learn it dribble by dribble. I'll wear a hat even, and I will bust this out. Celebrity All-Star Game. Look at this move. Finish it with the left hand. Yes. And then I'll stare like that. Yeah. So no, not this year. I'm not getting in it, but soon, guys.
The true or false should have been how many times we're going to show this clip?
Oh,
Yeah, 100 or more.
Oh,
We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be playing that every day.
Plenty of times. All right, folks. Good job, Skeets. One more quick break, but after this break, we're going to see who you picked as the best backcourt using our Facebook poll. You probably made the wrong pick because it's Dragic and Bledsoe. But you made the wrong pick. All right, stay tuned. You're watching The Starters.
Welcome back to The Starters. It's a question we debated earlier in the show. Tass got a little angry. We all got a little angry, I should say. But we asked you on the Starters Facebook page who you think the best backcourt in the league is, and 61% of you that voted agree with Lee, Trey, and myself, and you're going with the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. Tass's Dragon and Bledsoe pick coming in third with only 11%. Kyle Lowry and DeRozan in a little bit of a shocker to me, getting the second place vote with 18% from the fans.
You people don't know how good Eric Bledsoe is. You giving Dragic his respect.
Let's see if he finishes the whole season.
Yeah, he's got to be all. The numbers were fantastic last year, Trey, in only half a season.
Yep.
Like 17, 5.5, and 5. That's how good he is. He can do it all, unlike Clay.
Thanks for chiming in on that, guys, by the way. Jump over to the Starters Facebook page. Lee's always posting very strange photos of his new shoes,
They're
naked
great.
jeans, and stuff like that. Guys, coming up on Monday, part 5 of the Starters season preview. We're going to get into the most underrated team, the Eastern Conference playoff teams will be a little different than the West, and the best off-season trash talk. So lots of fun. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you again on Monday.
Yes, folks, thank you very much for joining us today. And remember, when you drive by someone, those few seconds of eye contact are the freest seconds of all.
Brace
It's a
the
weird
weekend,
one.
people.
That's a weird one.
Brace
They
the
always
weekend.
are.
They're all weird.
I mean, make me drive by someone, you make that eye contact.